What from the cape can you discern at sea?
Nothing at all. It is a high-wrought flood. I cannot twixt the heaven and the main descry a sail.
Methinks the wind hath spoken out at land. A full blast there shook our battlements. If it hath ruffianed so upon the sea, what ribs of oak when mountains melted them can hold the mortars? What shall we hear of this?
A segregation of the Turkish fleet, for to withstand upon the foaming shore. The chidden billow seems to pelt the clouds. The wind shakes surge with high and monstrous mane, seems to cast water on the burning bear and quench the guards of the ever-fixed pole. I never did like molestation view on the enchafed flood.
If that the Turkish fleet be not encheltered and embayed, they are drowned. It is impossible to bear it out.
News lad! Our wars are done. The desperate tempest hath so banged the Turks that their designment halts. A noble ship of Venice hath seen a grievous wrack and sufferance on most part of their fleet.
How? Is this true?
The ship is here put in, a Veronese. Michael Cassio, lieutenant to the warlike Moor, Othello, is come on shore, the Moor himself at sea, and is in full commission here for Cyprus.
I am glad on't. 'Tis a worthy governor.
But this same Cassio, though he speak of comfort touching the Turkish loss, yet he looks sadly and prays the Moor be safe, for they were parted with foul and violent tempest.
Pray heaven he be, for I have served him, and the man commands like a full soldier. Let's to the seaside, oh! As well to see the vessel that's come in, as to throw out our eyes for brave Othello, even till we make the main, and the aerial blue, an indistinct regard.
Come, let's do so, for every minute is expectancy of more rivals. Thanks, you the valiant of this warlike isle, that so approve the more. Oh, let the heavens give him defense against the elements, for I have lost him on a dangerous sea.
Is he well shipped?
His bark is stoutly timbered, and his pilot a very expert and approved allowance. Therefore my hopes, not surfeited to death, stand in bold cure.
A sail! A sail! A sail!
What noise?
The town is empty. On the brow of the sea stand ranks of people and they cry a sail!
My hopes do shape him for the governor.
They do discharge their shot of courtesy, our friends at least.
I pray you, sir, go forth and give us truth who 'tis that is arrived.
I shall. But good lieutenant, is your general arrived?
Most fortunately, he hath achieved a maid that paragon's description in wild fame, one that excels the quirks of blazoning pens, and in the essential vesture of creation does tire the engineer. How now? Who has put in? 'Tis one Iago, ancient to the general, has had most favorable and happy speed. Tempests themselves, high seas and howling winds, the guttered rocks and congregated sands, traitors in steep to clog the guiltless keel, as having sense of beauty do omit their mortal natures, letting go safely by the divine Desdemona.
What is she?
She, that I spake of, our great captain's captain, left in the conduct of the bold Iago, whose footing here anticipates our thoughts, as Sir Knight's speed. Great Jove, Othello guard, and swell his sail with thine own powerful breath, that he may bless this bay with his tall ship, make love's quick pants in Desdemona's arms, give renewed fire to our extincted spirits, and bring all Cyprus comfort. Oh, behold! The riches of the ship is come on shore! You, men of Cyprus, let her have your knees. Hail to thee, lady, and the grace of heaven before, behind thee, and on every hand, enwheel thee round. I thank you, valiant Cassio. What tidings can you tell me of my lord? He has not yet arrived, nor know I aught, but that he's well and will be shortly here. Oh, but I fear. How lost you company? The great contention of the sea and skies parted our fellowship.
A sail! A sail!
But hark! A sail!
They give their greeting to the citadel. This likewise is a friend.
See for news! Good ancient, you are welcome. Welcome, mistress. Let it not gall your patience, good Iago, that I extend my manners. 'Tis my breeding that gives me this bold show of courtesy. Sir, would she give you so much of her lips as of her tongue she oft bestows on me, you would have enough. Alas, she has no speech.
In faith, too much. I find it still when I have list to sleep. Marry before your ladyship, I grant. She puts her tongue a little in her heart, and chides with thinking.
You have little cause to say so.
Come on, come on! You are pictures out of doors, bells in your parlors, wild cats in your kitchens, saints in your injuries, devils being offended, players in your housewifery and housewives in your beds.
Oh, fie upon thee, slanderer! It is true, or else I am a Turk. You rise to play, and go to bed to work. You shall not write my praise.
No, let me not!
What wouldst thou write of me, if thou shouldst praise me?
Oh, gentle lady, do not put me to it, for I am nothing if not critical.
Come on, essay. There's one gone to the harbor?
Aye, madam. I am not merry, but I do beguile the thing I am by seeming otherwise. Come,
How wouldst thou praise me?
I am about it! But indeed, my invention comes from my pate, as birdlime does from frieze. It plucks out brains and all. But my muse labours, and thus she is delivered. If she be fair and wise, fairness and wit, the one's for use, the other useth it.
Well praised. How if she be black and witty?
If she be black and thereto had a wit, she'll find a white that shall her blackness fit.
Worse and worse. How if fair and foolish? She never yet was foolish that was fair, for even her folly helped her to an heir. These are old fond paradoxes to make fools laugh at the alehouse. What miserable praise hast thou for her that's foul and foolish? There's none so foul and foolish thereunto, but does foul pranks which fair and wise ones do. Oh, heavy ignorance! Thou praisest the worst best! But what praise couldst thou bestow on a deserving woman indeed? One that, in the authority of her merit, did justly put on the vouch of very malice itself.
She that was ever fair and never proud, had tongue at will and yet was never loud, never lacked gold and yet went never gay, fled from her wish and yet said now I may. She that being angered, her revenge being nigh, bade her wrong stay and her displeasure fly. She that in wisdom never was so frail to change the cod's head for the salmon's tail. She that could think and ne'er disclose her mind, see suitors following and not look behind. She was a white, if ever such white were.
To do what?
To suckle fools and chronicle small beer.
Oh, most lame and impotent conclusion! Do not learn of him, Amelia, though he be thy husband. How say you, Cassio? Is he not a most profane and liberal counselor? He speaks home, madam. You may relish him more in the soldier than in the scholar.
He takes her by the palm. Hi, well said whisper. With as little a web as this will I ensnare as great a fly as Cassio. I smile upon her. Do. I will jive thee in thine own courtship. You say true, 'tis so indeed. If such tricks as these stripped you out of your lieutenantry, it had been better you had not kissed your 3 fingers so oft, which now again you are most apt to play the sir in. Very good. Well kissed. An excellent courtesy. 'Tis so indeed. Yet again your fingers to your lips. would they were cleister pipes for your sake.
The boar! I know it's truly so!
Let's meet him and receive him.
Lo, where he comes.
Oh, my fair warrior.
My dear Othello.
It gives me wonder, great is my content, to see you here before me. Oh, my soul's joy. If after every tempest come such calms, may the winds blow till they awaken death, and let the laboring bark climb hills of seas, Olympus high, and duck again as low as hell's from heaven. If it were now to die, it were now to be most happy, for I fear my soul hath her content so absolute that naught another comfort like to this succeeds in unknown fate.
Heavens forbid, but that our loves and comfort should increase even as our days do grow.
Amen to that, sweet powers. I cannot speak enough of this content. It stops me here. It is too much of joy, and this, the greatest discords be, that e'er our hearts shall make.
Oh, you are well tuned now, but I'll set down the pegs that make this music as honest as I am.
Come, let us to the castle. Nurse friends, our wars are done. The Turks are drowned. How does my whole acquaintance of this isle? Honey, you shall be well desired in Cyprus. I have found great love amongst them. Oh, my sweet, I prattle out of fashion, and I dote in mine own comforts. I prithee, good Iago, go to the bay, and disembark my coffers. Bring now the master to the citadel. He is a good one, and his worthiness does challenge much respect. Come, Desdemona, once more well met at Cyprus.
Do thou meet me presently at the harbor. Come hither. If thou beest valiant, as they say basemen being in love, have then a nobility in their natures more than is native to them, list me. The lieutenant watches on the court of guard. First I must tell thee this. Desdemona is directly in love with him.
With him? Why? 'Tis not possible.
Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me, with what violence she first loved more, but for bragging and telling her fantastical lies. And will she love him still for prating? Let not thy discreet heart think it. Her eye must be fed. And what delight shall she have to look on the devil? When the blood is made dull with the act of sport, there should be again to inflame it, and to give satiety a fresh appetite, loveliness in favor, sympathy in years, manners and beauties, all which the more is defective in. Now, for want of these required conveniences, her delicate tenderness will find itself abused, begin to heave the gorge, disrelish and abhor the more. Very nature will instruct her in it, and compel her to some second choice. Now, sir, this granted, as it is a most pregnant and unforced position, who stands so eminent in the decree of this fortune as Cassio does? A knave, very voluble, no further conscionable than in putting on the mere form of civil and humane seeming, for the better compassing of his salt and most hidden loose affection. Why none? Why none? A slipper and subtle knave, a finder out of occasions, that has an eye, can stamp and counterfeit advantages, though true advantage never present itself. Devil
foolish knave! Besides, the knave is handsome, young, and hath all those requisites in him that folly and green minds look after. A pestilent, complete knave! And the woman hath found him already.
I cannot believe that in her. She's full of most blessed condition.
Blessed fix-it! The wine she drinks is made of grapes. If she had been blessed, she would never have loved them more. Blessed pudding! Didst not see her paddle with the palm of his hand? Didst
Yes,
not
I
mark
did.
that?
That was courtesy.
Lechery. By this hand, an index, an obscure prologue to the history of lust and foul thoughts. They met so near with their lips that their breaths embraced together. Ugh. Villainous thoughts, Rodrigo. When these mutualities so marshal the way, hard at hand comes the master and main exercise, the incorporate conclusion, pitch. But sir, be you ruled by me. I have brought you from Venice. Watch you tonight, for the command I'll lay it upon you. Cassio knows you not. I'll not be far from you. Do you find some occasion to anger Cassio, either by speaking too loud or tainting his discipline, or from what other course you please, which the time shall more favorably minister? Well, sir, he's rash and very sudden in choler, and haply with his truncheon may strike at you. Provoke him that he may, for even out of that will I cause these of Cyprus to mutiny, whose qualification shall come into no true taste again but by the displanting of Cassio. So shall you have a shorter journey to your desires, by the means I shall then have to prefer them, and the impediment most profitably removed, without the which there were no expectation of our prosperity.
I will do this if you can bring it to any opportunity.
I warn thee, meet me by and by at the citadel. I must fetch his necessaries ashore. Farewell.
Adieu.
That Cassio loves her. I do well believe it. That she loves him. 'Tis apt and of great credit. The more, howbeit that I enjoy him not, is of a constant, loving, noble nature, and I dare think he'll prove to Desdemona a most dear husband. Ah, now I do love her too. Not out of absolute lust, though peradventure I stand accountant for as great a sin, but partly led to diet my revenge. For that I do suspect the lusty Moor hath leaped into my seat, the thought whereof doth like a poisonous mineral gnaw my inwards, and nothing can or shall content my soul till I am even with him, wife for wife. Or failing so, yet that I put the Moor at least into a jealousy so strong that judgment cannot cure. Which thing to do if this poor trash of Venice, whom I trash for his quick hunting stand the putting on, I'll have our Michael Cassio on the hip, abuse him to the Moor in the rank of garb, for I fear Cassio with my nightcap too, make the Moor thank me, love me, and reward me for making him egregiously an ass, and practicing upon his peace and quiet, even to madness. 'Tis here, but yet confused. Knavery's plain face is never seen till used.
It is Othello's pleasure, our noble and valiant general, that, upon certain tidings now arrived, importing the mere perdition of the Turkish fleet, every man put himself into triumph, some to dance, some to make bonfires, each man to what sport and revels his addiction leads him. For, besides these beneficial news, it is the celebration of his nuptial. So much was his pleasure should be proclaimed. All offices are open, and there is full liberty of feasting from the present hour of 5 till the bell have tolled 11. Heaven bless the Isle of Cyprus and our noble general, Othello!
Good Michael, look you to the guard tonight. Let's teach ourselves that honorable stop, not to outsport discretion.
Iago hath direction what to do, but notwithstanding, with my personal eye will I look to it.
Iago is most honest. Michael, good night. Tomorrow, with your earliest, let me have speech with you. Come, my dear love. The purchase made, the fruits are to ensue. That profit's yet to come between me and you. Good night.
Welcome, Iago. We must to the watch.
Not this hour, Lieutenant. 'Tis not yet 10 o'clock. Our general cast us thus early for the love of his Desdemona, who, let us not therefore blame, he hath not yet made wanton the night with her, and she is sport for Jove.
She's a most exquisite lady.
And I warrant her full of game.
Indeed, she's a most fresh and delicate creature.
What an eye she has! Methinks it sounds a parley to provocation.
An inviting eye, and yet methinks right modest.
And when she speaks, is it not an alarum to love?
She is indeed perfection.
Well, happiness to their sheets! Come, Lieutenant, I have a stoop of wine, and here without are a brace of Cyprus gallants that would fain have a measure to the health of Black Othello.
Not tonight, good Iago. I have very poor and unhappy brains for drinking. I could well wish courtesy would invent some other custom of entertainment.
Oh! They are our friends. But one cup. I'll drink for you.
I have drunk but 1 cup tonight, and that was craftily qualified too. And behold what innovation it makes here. I am unfortunate in the infirmity, and dare not task my weakness with any more.
What, man? 'Tis a night of revels. The gallants desire it.
Where are they?
Here at the door. I pray you call them in.
I'll do it, but it dislikes me.
If I can fasten but 1 cup upon him, with that which he hath drunk tonight already, he'll be as full of quarrel and offense as my young mistress dog. Now my sick fool Rodrigo, whom love hath turned almost the wrong side out, to Desdemona hath tonight caroused. Potations pottle deep, and he's to watch. 3 lads of Cyprus, noble, swelling spirits, that hold their honors in a wary distance. The very elements of this warlike isle have I tonight flustered with flowering cups, and they watch too. Now, amongst this flock of trumpets, am I to put our Cassio in some action that may offend the isle? But here they come. If consequence due, but to prove my dream, my boat sails freely, both with wind and stream.
For God, they have given me a rouse already.
Good fight! faith, a little one, not mastermind, as I am a soldier.
Some wine! Oh! And let me the cannikin clink, clink. And let me the cannikin clink. A soldier's a man, a life's but a span. Why then, let a soldier drink some wine, boys!
For God, an excellent song!
I learned it in England, where indeed they are most potent in potting. Your Dane, your German, and your swag-bellied Hollander, drink ho! Are nothing to your English.
Is your Englishman so expert in his drinking?
Why, he drinks you with facility. Your Dane dead drunk. He sweats not to overthrow your Almain. He gives your Hollander a vomitier the next bottle can be filled.
To the health of our general! Bring for it, Lieutenant, and I'll do you justice!
Oh, sweet England! King Stephen was a worthy peer. His breeches cost him but a crown. He held him sixpence, all too dear. With that, he called the tailor loud. He was a white of high renown, and thou art but of low degree. 'Tis pride that pulls the country down. Then take thine old cloak about thee. Some wine!
For God, this is a more exquisite song than the other!
Will you hear it again?
No, for I hold him to be unworthy of his place that does those things. Well, God's above all, and there be souls must be saved, and there be souls must not be saved.
It's true, good lieutenant.
For mine own part, no offense to the general, nor any man of quality, I hope to be saved.
And so do I too, lieutenant.
Aye, but by your leave, not before me. The lieutenant is to be saved before the ancient. Let's have no more of this. Let's do our affairs. God forgive us our sins. Gentlemen, let's look to our business. Do not think, gentlemen, I am drunk. This is my ancient. This is my right hand. And this is my left. I am not drunk now. I can stand well enough, and I speak well enough. Why, very well then. You must not think then that I am drunk. To the platform, masters! Come, let's set the watch!
You see this fellow that has gone before? He's a soldier fit to stand by Caesar and give direction, and do but see his vice. 'Tis to his virtue a just equinox, the one as long as the other. 'Tis pity of him. I fear the trust Othello puts him in, on some odd time of his infirmity, will shake this island.
But is he often thus?
'Tis evermore his prologue to his sleep. He'll watch the horloge double set if drink rock not his cradle.
It were well. The general will put in mind of it. Perhaps he sees it not. Or his good nature prizes the virtue that appears in Cassio, and looks not on his evils. Is not this true?
How now, Rodrigo? I pray you after the lieutenant. Go.
And 'tis great pity that a noble Moor should hazard such a base as his own second with one of an ingraft infirmity. It were an honest action to say so to the Moor.
Not I for this fair island. I do love Cassio well, and would do much to cure him of this evil.
Help!
But hark! What noise?
Zounds, you rogue! You rascal! What's the matter, Lieutenant? The name to teach me my duty! I'll beat the name into a twig and bottle! Beat me? Dost thou break, rogue? Nay, good Lieutenant! I pray you, sir,
Hold your hand!
Let me go, sir! Or I'll knock you over the method!
Come, you're drunk!
Drunk?
Away, I say! Go out and cry a mutiny!
Very good, Lieutenant! God's will, gentlemen! Help all! Lieutenant, sir! Montano, sir! Help, masters! Here's a goodly watch indeed! Who's that which rings the bell? Diablo! The devil rise! God's will! Lieutenant Old! You'll be shamed forever!
What is the matter here?
Not! I bleed still! I am hurt to the death! He dies!
Hold for your lives!
Hold! Lieutenant, sir, Montano, gentlemen! Have you got all sense of place and duty? Hold! The general speaks to you! Hold for shame! Why? Hello!
From whence ariseth this? Are we turned Turks? And to ourselves do that which heaven hath forbid or to might? For Christian shame, put by this barbarous brawl. He that stirs next to God for his own rage holds his soul light. He dies upon the motion. Silence that dreadful bell! It frights the isle from her propriety. What is the matter, masters? Honest Iago, that looks dead with grieving. Speak. Who began this? On thy love, I charge thee.
I do not know. Friends all, but now, even now, in quarter, and in terms like bride and groom, divesting them from bed. And then, but now, as if some planet had unwitted men, swords out and tilting, one at other's breast, in opposition bloody. I cannot speak any beginning to this peevish odds. And would in action glorious I had lost those legs that brought me to a part of it.
How comes it, Michael? You are thus forgot?
I pray you pardon me. I cannot speak.
Worthy Montano, you were wont to be civil. The gravity and stillness of your youth the world hath noted, and your name is great in mouths of wisest censor. What's the matter that you unlace your reputation thus and spend your rich opinion for the name of a night brawler? Give me answer to it.
Worthy Othello, I am hurt to danger. Your officer Iago can inform you, while I spare speech, with something now offends me. Of all that I do know, nor know I aught by me that's said or done amiss this night, unless self-charity be sometimes a vice, and to defend ourselves it be a sin, when violence assails us.
Now, by heaven, my blood begins my safer guides to rule, and passion, having my best judgment collide, essays to lead the way. If I once stir, or do but lift this arm, the best of you shall sink in my rebuke. Give me to know how this foul rout began, who set it on, and he that is approved in this offence, though he had twinned with me, both at a birth, shall lose me.
What? In a town of war, yet wild, the people's hearts brimful of fear, to manage private and domestic quarrel in night, and on the court and guard of safety, 'tis monstrous. Iago, who began it.
If partially affined, or leagued in office, thou dost deliver more or less than truth. Thou art no soldier.
Push me not so near! I had rather have this tongue cut from my mouth than it should do offense to Michael Cassio. Yet I persuade myself to speak the truth. Shall nothing wrong him? This it is, General. Montano and myself being in speech, there comes Othello crying out for help, and Cassio following him with a determined sword to execute upon him. Sir,
This gentleman steps in to Cassio and entreats his pause. Myself, the crying fellow did pursue, lest by his clamor, as it so fell out, the town might fall in fright. He, swift of foot, outran my purpose, and I returned then rather for that I heard the clink and fall of swords, and Cassio high in oath, which till tonight I ne'er might say before. When I came back, for this was brief, I found them close together at blow and thrust, even as again they were when you yourself did part them. More of this matter cannot I report, but men are men. The best sometimes forget, though Cassio did some little wrong to him, as men in rage strike those that wish them best. Yet surely Cassio, I believe, received from him that fled some strange indignity, which patience could not pass.
I know, Iago, thy honesty and love doth mince this matter, making it light to Cassio. Cassio, I love thee, but to never more be officer of mine. Look, if my gentle love be not raised up, I'll make thee an example.
What's the matter?
All's well now, sweeting. Come away to bed. Sir, for your hurts, myself will be your surgeon. Lead him off. Iago, look with care about the town, and silence those whom this vile brawl distracted. Come, Desdemona, 'tis the soldier's life, to have their balmy slumbers waked with strife.
What, are you hurt, Lieutenant?
Aye. Past all surgery.
Marry God forbid!
Reputation! 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 Oh, I have lost my reputation! I have lost the immortal part of myself, and what remains is bestial! My reputation, Iago! My reputation!
As I am an honest man, I thought you had received some bodily wound. There is more sense in that than in reputation. Reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft got without merit and lost without deserving. You have lost no reputation at all, unless you repute yourself such a loser. What, man? There are ways to recover the general again. You are but now cast in his mood, a punishment more in policy than in malice. Even so, as one would beat his offenseless dog to affright an imperious lion, sue to him again, and he's yours.
I will rather sue to be despised than to deceive so good a commander with so slight, so drunken, and so indiscreet an officer. Drunk and speak parrot, and squabble, swagger, swear, and discourse fustian with one's own shadow. O thou invisible spirit of wine, if thou hast no name to be known by, let us call thee devil.
What was he that you followed with your sword? What had he done to you?
I know not.
Is't possible?
I remember a mass of things, but nothing distinctly. A quarrel, but nothing wherefore. Oh God! That men should put an enemy in their mouths to steal away their brains! That we should with joy, pleasance, revel, and applause transform ourselves into beasts!
Why? But you are now well enough. How came you thus recovered?
It hath pleased the devil drunkenness to give place to the devil wrath. Oh, one unperfectness shows me another, to make me frankly despise myself.
Come, you are too severe a moraler. As the time, the place, and the condition of this country stands, I could heartily wish this had not so befallen. But since it is as it is, mend it for your own good.
I will ask him for my place again. He shall tell me I am a drunkard, and I as many mouths as Hydra. Such an answer would stop them all. To be now a sensible man, by and by a fool, and presently a beast. Oh, strange!
Every inordinate cup is unblessed, and the ingredient is a devil!
Come! Good wine is a good familiar creature, if it be well used. Exclaim no more against it. And good lieutenant, I think you think I love you.
I have well approved it, sir. I drunk.
You or any man living may be drunk at some time, man! I'll tell you what to do. Our general's wife is now the general. I may say so in this respect, for that he hath devoted and given up himself to the contemplation, mark, and denotement of her parts and graces. Confess yourself freely to her. Importune her to help to put you in your place again. She is of so free, so kind, so apt, so blessed a disposition, she holds it a vice in her goodness not to do more than she is requested. This broken joint between you and her husband, entreat her to splinter. And my fortunes against any lay worth naming, this crack of your love shall grow stronger than it was before.
You advise me well.
I protest in the sincerity of love and honest kindness.
I think it freely, and betimes in the morning will I beseech the virtuous Desdemona to undertake for me. I am desperate of my fortunes if they check me here.
You are in the right. Good night, Lieutenant. I must to the watch.
Good night, honest Iago.
And what's he then that says I play the villain? When this advice is free I give, and honest, probable to thinking, and indeed the course to win the more again. For 'tis most easy the inclining Desdemona to subdue in any honest suit. She's framed as fruitful as the free elements. And for her to win the more, were to renounce his baptism, all seals and symbols of redeeming sin. His soul is so infettered to her love that she may make, unmake, do what she list, even as her appetite shall play the chord with his weak function. How am I then a villain to counsel Cassio to this parallel course directly to his good? Divinity of hell, with devils with the blackest sins put on, they do suggest at first with heavenly shows, as I do now. For whilst this honest fool plies Desdemona to repay his fortunes, and she for him pleads strongly to the more, I'll pour this pestilence into his ear, that she reveals him for her body's lust, and by how much she strives to do him good, she shall undo her credit with the more. So will I turn her virtue into pitch, and out of her own goodness make the net that shall enmesh them all. Rodrigo?
I do follow here in the chase, not like a hound that hunts, but one that fills up the cry. My money is almost spent. I have been tonight exceedingly well cudgeled, and I think the issue will be I shall have so much experience for my pains, and so with no money at all, and a little more wit return again to Venice.
How poor are they that have not patience? What wound did ever heal but by degrees? Thou knowest we work by wit and not by witchcraft, and wit depends on dilatory time. Does it not go well? Cassio hath beaten thee, and thou by that small hurt hast cashiered Cassio. Though other things grow fair against the sun, yet fruits that blossom first will first be ripe. Content thyself a while. By the mass, 'tis morning. Pleasure and action make the hours seem short. Retire thee. Go where thou art billeted. Away, I say! Thou shalt no more hereafter. Nay, get thee gone. Two things are to be done. My wife must move for Cassio to her mistress. I'll set her on. Myself the while to draw the Moor apart and bring him jump when he may Cassio find soliciting his wife. Aye, that's the way. Dull not device by coldness and delay.